Welcome back. With looming threats of ICE raids here in Chicago, a lot of people wondering what should they do if themselves or their family members are approached by ICE. Question we are talking about a lot this morning, especially with all the news unfolding over this past weekend with President Trump's border czar saying that, hey, there's going to be detainments here in Chicago this coming week. We are joined this morning by immigration attorney Naiara Testa. Naiara, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time. First of all, you mentioned your office busy with this.
Very busy, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of people getting detained, trying to represent people in immigration court and, trying to get them out of detention.
Okay, we're going to talk about the recourse for some of these individuals in just a moment. But first, if people are approached by ICE, what is your first piece of advice that they should be aware of?
So the most important thing to keep in mind, and what I hope people take away from this, is you have the right to remain silent. You're under no obligation to answer any of ICE's questions, and ICE actually can't detain you or try to deport you if you're undocumented unless they have some sort of evidence that you are undocumented. So they can't assume that you're undocumented because you speak a different language or because of the way you look. So don't make their job easy for them by giving them the information they need to detain you and to try to deport you.
So even if you are, let's say you have pants on with no pockets, you don't have your ID, you're out and about, you don't have to do a thing.
No, you're under no obligation to answer any questions or to give them any identification.
How about if an officer comes to your home?
So do not open the door. You should also teach your kids not to open the door. ICE actually can't come into your home unless they have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, and they almost never have this. They usually have an administrative warrant, which is signed by an officer or some kind of official, but that doesn't give them the right to enter your home.
All right, if it does go to the next level and someone is physically detained by ICE, what would you want that individual to know?
So contact an immigration attorney as soon as possible. Some things have to be filed as soon as a person is detained, so time is really of the essence. They can also contact an organization that helps kind of with crisis management and what to do. So the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights is a great organization to contact. They can put you in touch with an attorney. You can also go online to the ICE detainee locator to try to find your loved one. But yeah, time is of the essence, so move quickly. How
is it going in terms of the folks that you are representing? I've heard rumblings, at least online, that not everyone is getting that call to their lawyers. Is that the case, or making that list that you just mentioned? Is that the case? Are you finding that to be the case, where people aren't given that phone call or that access to contact representation?
Yeah, so sometimes, people just find out, oh, my relative was taken, but I don't know where they are. So it does take a little bit of, investigation to try to figure it out. The ICE detainee locator generally is accurate, but it does take a little bit of time to update. So yeah, sometimes people go incommunicado and you have to try to figure out where they are.
Okay. We have also been reporting on certain events, parades and that kind of thing, that have either been delayed or canceled. El Grito, Chicago, which is an Mexican Independence Day celebration, was recently canceled. In your mind, are those cancellations justified? Would you like to see those organizers kind of go forward with these things?
So it's really hard to say. I mean, people are really scared, and I totally understand. They're desperate, and they want to keep themselves and their family members safe. So it really depends on your level of risk taking and whether you want to go out in public. It also depends on each person's immigration situation. So for the individual person trying to decide, should I go to this event or not, it really depends on their own circumstances. So I encourage everyone to have a consult and figure out what their particular circumstances are.
But we will see how this week unfolds. You're right, there's a lot of tension, a lot of fear in that community. Naiara Testa, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate your time and your expertise.